Hey guys, it's Elizabeth, Finding Elizabeth, and we're here for a special Aussie edition of The Naked Truth. I'm thrilled to be here with Tanya. How's it going?
Hello. Hello. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, and we have Amy VSGtobetherealme here with us from Australia. And
Morning/evening.
Where's the special guest that was just with us a minute ago? She's still there.
She's just
She's having a moment.
She knew we were talking about her.
Oh. No.
Look at how cute she is. So I guess this sort of explains where you've been.
Yes. Well, I've been MIA for a little while.
Just a little busy.
Yeah. Just a bit distracted lately.
Yes. And can you introduce everybody to your new addition?
This is Willow. She's 15 weeks old today. And the 5-year-old is not here today, which makes life a bit easier for me.
Well, we were really excited to see you, particularly because we haven't seen you around on YouTube for a while.
Why, thank you.
So, generally, just kind of check in on everybody's week. Tanya, what's going on with you? Anything?
Nothing too exciting. Just my workout classes at night and pool time yesterday, and things are just going along swimmingly for the summer.
Are you just doing step primarily?
Yeah, I pretty much converted just to step. You know, I was doing all my long walking and all that for a while, and I'm kind of obsessed with step right now. So
it's really fun. I was surprised I liked it as much as I did.
Yeah, and I have a couple of different teachers I go to, and their styles are very different, so that kind of keeps it interesting, you know. So yeah, I'm just loving my step right now.
Awesome. And Amy, how's your week been?
First week back from being away for 2 weeks, so I'm still trying to unpack a house that we moved into about 8 weeks ago-ish.
So when she
trying to have a newborn and unpack a house and deal with school. It's been so fun. Utterly exhausted, but that's okay.
But look how amazing she looks. It's 9 o'clock.
I know, right?
Morning there, and she looks incredible.
She always looks beautiful.
I'm a pro. Oh, well, thank you. It's all in the makeup, trust me.
No, there's a good foundation there, I know.
Yeah, you have something.
Yeah, these freckles don't hide themselves.
My week was fine, a little up and down, but Gracie came and hung out with me this weekend. And
it's a good weekend.
It was fun. I'm exhausted because she's way younger than I am. And we went to see Ambrosia last night, which I don't even know. I mean, maybe Tanya, you know who they are. I mean, they're from the 70s.
Yeah.
So my friend was putting on this concert, and I told her, and she was so excited. I'm like, how do you even know who these people are? She was a huge fan, so we had a lot of fun, and we hung out by the pool today, and she just left, so that was a lot of fun.
That's good.
Yeah, it was really fun. Okay, community celebrations. We had a couple people having surgery this week. Dazzle VSG had her VSG surgery on Tuesday. Emma, I don't know how to say her last name. Emma Orellana survived RNY. I think she was in the hospital for a couple of days with a complication.
Oh, really?
She's on the loser's bench and out of the hospital now. Britt Bratt lost 100 pounds, and she hit her 100 pounds lost on her birthday.
Oh, that's nice. That's a
great
birthday gift.
That's the best birthday gift.
Exactly. Becky WLSRNY is this week. She's down 3 obesity classes and is now just obese instead of super morbidly obese.
Nice.
Congrats.
141 pounds down in 8 months.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And Amy, it was your 2-year surgery last week, right?
The 16th was my 2-year, yeah.
And that's also Sister Scaleback's 2-year surgery. So both of you guys celebrated on the 16th.
Oh, that's cool.
Jamie Jones, who's also been missing from YouTube for a little while.
Right? Yeah.
But she survived day 1 of Les Mills CXWORX training. I'm not sure what that is, but it...
I guess is she going to be a coach? Is that what? I mean, she's huge into fitness, so.
Yeah, I think so. Katie Nelson Cox, your fellow
Yeah, Nola girl.
yeah, your fellow girl. She went to a fucking water park last week
Oh.
and didn't feel like a beach whale. Also, she walked a crazy amount of stairs to go on slides, and her kids were more worn out than she was. She actually ran up 6 stories.
Wow.
Nice.
And also, she went on roller coasters and rides with her kids because she fit, and she felt more free than she had in years. So
Wow.
That's such a good feeling.
That's what it's all about. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, totally. Terry Santiago reminded us of some birthdays. Randy, VSG Granny, her birthday was the 22nd, and Janine Pinkfish Lily, her birthday is the 25th, which was
Happy birthday, girls.
And Eva Harder, Ava Shrinking, has her 2-year anniversary today.
Oh, okay.
Linda Lombardo went into the pool, I think, for the first time with her scars and all, so congratulations on that.
Yep.
The Mahonies, a big, huge shout-out to them. They are finally moving into their new house. They've been living out of, like a camper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been forever.
How Jennifer dries her hair in a camper.
I know. I cannot imagine.
So that's so exciting that they're finally in there. Kiki Holiday lost 80 pounds, and she's 16 weeks post-op. And Penny Disenber is on vacation at a campground, and she's going to walk her ass off all week. And Leanne, My Big Adventure, I don't know if you guys know her, but she was a little bit after me and she made videos for a little while, but she stopped. But I heard she posted a video today, and I guess she's having plastics tomorrow. So congratulations to her, and it was her 2-year anniversary, I think. And also, I saw a video from Karen Sort of Fairy Tale today, so I just wanted to shout her out because I hadn't seen her for a while.
Okay, I don't know her.
So that's pretty much what I think we have going on. One other thing I just wanted to mention was last week we had SJ from Saudi on, and she like blew the shit out of that show.
Right.
It had 2,000 views the next day, which is like more than any I mean, we've had shows that have that many views, but not that quickly.
Yeah.
So that was kind of amazing, and it made us hit our 1,500 subscriber goal that I was going to do a giveaway for.
Nice.
So stay tuned till the end, and I'll tell you what you guys have to do to get in a giveaway for a $25 Amazon gift card.
Yeah, I was thinking today. We have like an international connection thing going between having SJ, even though she was in the States, but she doesn't live in the States.
Yeah.
And we have our Aussie connection this week, so it's kind of a fun thing.
Traveling the world.
Yes.
Yep.
So tell us about being pregnant post VSG. Let's just jump right into that. How was that?
We'll compare it to being pregnant before VSG. This pregnancy in total, like I have really easy pregnancies. I don't get sick. I don't have any issues. It's been the same for both. So I'm really lucky there that I don't have to worry about, throwing up or anything like that, which is nice. But this pregnancy, because I was so much smaller from the get-go, it was much easier just to do life in general, because I had Amani at preschool. She was there 2.5 days a week. So, I was having to get up, do school runs, all of that sort of thing. And it was over summer, and our summers here are pretty damn brutal. And it was super humid this year. So to be, have this massive tummy and, doing a school pickup at 3 o'clock, which is the worst time of the afternoon, I actually managed to do it. Whereas last time I was working, but I sat on my ass all the time. If I wasn't at work, I was home on the couch. And with Amani, I'd taken my last 10 weeks off work because I had all the sick leave sitting there, and I wasn't planning on going back. So I took that time and sat on the couch for 10 weeks. Whereas this one, because we'd bought the house, no one had lived in this house for about 6 months. So the yard was all overgrown, and we'd had a heap of rain. So we had to get in and clean it all up before we obviously moved in. So I was shoveling rocks and digging out tree stumps and all this sort of stuff the day before I had her.
Wow.
And we did about 4 weekends of just solid yard work, and I think that helped to have such a good birth with her, because Amani was horrible. She ended up in an emergency Caesar, whereas this one, 12 hours out, no stitches, no nothing, just
Nice.
good to go. It's been such a different experience, but I think that comes down to my body obviously being a lot smaller and easier to move.
Right.
But also being strong enough to do it because of all the activity that I was doing beforehand. Because I had to clean the inside of the house as well, like the kitchen and all that sort of stuff. So
Right.
it was a very intense 4 or 5 weeks before she actually came, because obviously they're easier on the inside than they are on the outside.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, get it all done before they get here, yeah.
Exactly. Whereas now I'm trying to move when she's out and I don't get a hell of a lot done. But
Yeah.
that's okay.
So
It's
when you had VSG, did you know that you wanted more children, or was this a surprise?
No, there was always going to be 2. I always wanted to. I said to Alex, my husband, like, I would have my 30th, and then after that, we're good to go. Like,
Yeah.
we'll have another baby any time from then. And my birthday was in May, and I was pregnant in June. So that happened quickly.
That's a good planner.
Yeah. So I forgot to even ask you about your weight loss surgery stats, like your general weight loss stuff. Can you tell
I
everybody?
haven't even written down because my memory is so bad. I'll go through, like, kind of I've always done it in my videos, but my high weight on the 12th of May, which was my first day of OptiFast, I was 124 kilos or 264 pounds. And surgery was the 16th of June, and I was 116 kilos or 257 pounds. The lowest weight I hit, I was 4 weeks pregnant at 74.2 kilos and 163 pounds, and that's been my lowest adult weight that I've ever known.
How tall are you, Amy?
5'2".
Okay.
So I'm short. On the day I went into labour, which was the 14th of March, I was 91 kilos or 200 pounds. So I gained 17 kilos or just over 37 pounds. Mm-hmm. Whereas with Amani, I'd gained, I think, 30 kilos. I don't even know what that is in pounds, but
it's like 60 something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. My ass was as big as my tummy with Amani. And then after I'd had her, within 3 weeks, I was down to 81 kilos. So I'd lost almost 10 kilos or 21 pounds within the 3 weeks.
Wow.
And then I forgot to weigh myself this morning. But I'd be hovering around the same weight, I'd imagine, around that 80 kilo mark. Mm-hmm. Just because obviously I've got to have something to feed her with.
Right. So did your doctors have any concern about you having a pregnancy after VSG, or would they just roll with it?
No, my GPs didn't. Like, we get referred to our hospital here, and they have a little separate clinic that's a bit more. It's not a private clinic, but each midwife is assigned 2 ladies, and that will be like the people that they get for that month.
Right.
So I had just the one midwife, which was really nice because I didn't have to explain the whole thing over and over and over again.
Right.
But she didn't have any concerns. The only thing that we had to do different for me was the glucose test. The glucose test. They make you drink this little, like, bubbly, fizzy, nasty drink.
Yeah.
But the like the liquid amount. Sorry, I'm just going to feed her. The liquid amount would be too much for me to get in too quickly because you have to drink it within.
That was so hard, even without surgery.
Right,
exactly.
And then the sugar makes you nauseous already.
Exactly.
Oh, I never even thought about that.
I'd nearly passed out when I did it with Amani, let alone this one. So I was like, we need to figure out something else. But I just had to go in for 4 consecutive days of blood tests.
Yeah.
Like, and she'd just take a little vial worth, and then I'd go back in the next day and the next day, which, saved obviously having to do that other test.
That's good.
It all came back negative, which is great, but that was the only thing I had to actually do different. And for my actual labour, I was meant to have her, but she was away. So the other lady that I'd had, I only told her about it when I got there. And I was like, oh, so by the way, this has happened. But I had to be monitored really closely anyway because of the prior C-section. So
Right.
Just real quick, I said the wrong Janine, whose birthday it was, and Kristen pointed that out to me. It's not being silly. It's Janine's journey. It was her.
Oh, okay.
And guys, I guess the comments are back live on video, so you can comment there if you like, or you can send me questions through Amy and I'll slow down because everybody says I say my phone number too fast. 714-625-563. And so Mrs. Hegarty, who's watching, wants to know if you had any difficulties nutritionally while you were pregnant.
Not that ever came back from blood tests. I tend to eat fairly, like I eat a fair variety of food. I don't focus solely on protein anymore. I try and get a lot of calcium and eat veggies and things like that. So my whole focus is not protein anymore. So I think that helps. I tried to drink a ton of water just to keep it going, and obviously kept up with my vitamins. But
yeah.
I haven't had any issues, and I exclusively breastfeed now. And I mean, she's gaining the weight she's supposed to, and things like that. So it's obviously my body will give her what she needs, clearly. But
yeah.
I don't feel like I'm suffering at all either. So I mean,
and not having to do anything special. So they didn't adjust your vitamins or anything because of surgery. It was just
no.
The standard prenatal.
Yeah, just normal, like with the folic acid and things like that. But that was it.
That's good.
Nothing. I've taken prenatal vitamins the entire time anyway.
Yeah.
Just because they give you that little bit more and a little bit more variety, I think, with just a normal standard multivitamin.
Yeah.
But I haven't had any issues, so. But I think I'm just lucky with pregnancy.
So did you have any anxiety about having a pregnancy post losing the weight, and then like anxiety about gaining back and not being able to get back into the swing of things?
I did a little bit, not a huge amount, because obviously I'd had a baby before, so I kind of knew what to expect. You know, your stomach's going to get huge, everything's going to get huge.
Yeah.
And obviously I thought, okay, so it won't be the same as last time because I'm in a very different position, which ended up being the case. But I mean, I haven't lost a lot of the weight in my hips or anything yet, but I think, I mean, I'm 10 kilos down, but
yeah.
I think that's more so I've actually got something to feed her.
Right.
Which obviously my body will do what it needs to do. I'm not worried about it at all because, I've got a life to nurture right now.
Right.
And it's the last thing on my mind. But at the same time, I'm still quite conscious. But I have found that I can eat a lot more. So I don't know if it's that 2-year mark or my body's allowing me to eat a bit more in volume just to be able to get it in to be able to feed her. So I'm not quite sure what that's about, but I don't feel like it's hindering my weight loss in any way because I've still got to keep some weight for her. So
right, it's probably that 2-year mark. I think everybody kind of hits that same thing.
Yeah,
so
I imagine so.
What about exercise? What did you do before the pregnancy, and then are you able to do anything now?
I don't do a lot of exercise at all. I
Even
should
before?
because I need to turn up my butt. I get so bored with a gym. Like I just can't do a gym. It bores the shit out of me, and I'd rather do housework than do that because it's boring to me. I went to like a water aerobics class like a long time ago, and I really enjoyed that. But the only problem with here is it's either freezing or boiling hot. So half the year you can't do it anyway. So until I find something to do in that interim, it's just kind of just everyday life for me is my exercise right now with running around and just normal stuff. But because I'm not at work either, so I'm not stationary all day. I'm at home doing different things and in and out of school and things like that. So I mean, I'm not as lazy as I used to be. I can vouch for that. That's one thing.
Gracie and I were actually talking about that. I mean, I think part of that is it was so hard to move and do things before.
Yeah.
And now you can actually do it. I mean, it's like I didn't want to lay on the couch all the time, but it's a lot of weight to carry around.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, because I'd lost 50 kilos or 110 pounds when I got to my smallest. So just to have the energy to clean up this damn yard for a start while being, I was 39 weeks and 2 days when I went into labour. So, to do that kind of thing when I was so heavily pregnant was pretty mean feat in itself.
What was your kind of story around weight? Were you overweight your whole life?
I think I hit about 10, I think, and I started to put on a little bit of weight. And then my mum had moved, she'd married an American and moved to the States when I was 12, and my dad wouldn't let her take us. So we stayed with him, and it was, grandma's for dinner every night, and she'd make these massive plates of food that you had to eat, and she always had snacks and cakes and biscuits, and even our dogs had little fat asses on them. Thanks to grandma. You add that with puberty and getting your period and all of this kind of thing.
Right.
And it was just, from then on, it was just one extreme to the next. So I just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then by the time I did Cohen's, I think in like 2012, I reckon it might have been.
You did what?
Cohen's.
What's that?
I think it's an American thing with a diet that is so limited, like tiny amounts of food, very strict, like what you can actually eat for a start, constant blood tests and things like that. And I'd gotten down to about my smallest weight I am now, and I'd met Alex not long after that, and then, sorry if this rocking's annoying you. She's going to sleep. Gonna get closer and further. And then I met him, started putting weight back on. Don't make me feel so bad, you can laugh too. And then, just got bigger and bigger, got pregnant with Amani, ate nothing but like chips and burgers, because I think, I'm eating for two.
Right.
No. You learn that very quickly with the next one, not to do that.
Right.
But once I'd had her, I kind of stayed big for a long time, and then within 12 months of having her, my brother had died. Within, I think, another 12 months after that, I'd lost like 7 people that I knew. So I was just, It was just one extreme after the next, and then just ballooned out from comfort eating from my brother and stuff like that, because that was a suicide. So you don't get any answers, and it's just so tough to get your mind around. And you've got to be the strong one, because Mum was losing her shit, and my sister's younger than me, so I have to be there for her. Like, it's that typical mentality of having to look after everybody else and not myself. So instead of just crying, I just go and eat, basically. And that's when I got to the 124 kilos, which was ridiculous for my height too. It was pretty intense.
So what kind of led you to decide to have weight loss surgery?
I had a guy that my husband works with had it, and I mean, he's like 6'4" or something, so he's a tall guy, but he was probably 400 pounds, maybe 450. He never actually told me how much he weighs, but he was a big guy, like as round as he was tall, sort of thing. So he had it, and I saw him just shrink smaller and smaller and smaller, and I was just like, holy shit. Like, that is exactly what I'm going to do, because I didn't want Amani growing up thinking, life's all about dieting. Like, to be a woman, you have to diet and things like that. And I knew I'd have another child, which would most likely be a girl, which she is. So I figured, I don't want that life for my girls, because, I'd lived that life of being a fat ass and then having to diet. So I didn't want that for them as well. Yeah. So I kind of wanted to get it over and done with before I had another baby, and before she got old enough to realise Mum's lost a lot of weight and what the hell's happened and things like that.
You probably won't even remember.
Right.
No, well, she sees photos now from the last family shoot that we had when we were in the States. So she was 3, and like a studio photo shoot thing. And she'd be like, there's Mum, but doesn't associate like me being at my biggest to now. She still just knows that as me, but doesn't know that I've lost, a hell of a lot of weight. So
yeah. That's how Victoria was at 4 when I had surgery, and it's kind of the same thing. Like, I don't think she really has any memories of that. She sees pictures and acknowledges it, but that she doesn't remember me that way. So and that's good. That's how I like it. You know, actually, there was somebody I used to watch, a guy I used to watch his videos, like, early on, like, when I was, like, maybe a year out. He doesn't make any videos anymore, but I had said something about that to him one time, that, you know, I hope that they remember me like this, and then they all always think of being conscious of what you're eating and stuff like that. And he actually said, no, I'll always show my son pictures of me when I was heavy, because I want him to know, you know, you could go off the rails. You know, things could go wrong. So, and I kind of always keep that in the back of my mind when I deal with the kids too. That you know, I'll still love you. It's not like, but I just don't want you to have the same struggles that I have.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I remembered my mum saying to me, I was probably maybe 18 or something, and you know, I was still a big girl, and she'd always said to me, she's like, why do you put so much effort into your face but not your body? Like, because that's when I was starting to get into makeup and all this kind of thing. And at the time I was like, oh, bitch, like, how dare you?
Well, that's now I think when you said that, but okay.
Good old mothers are always so brutally honest.
Yeah.
But now I can actually sit back and go, you know, she kind of had a point and was saying it not so nicely, but at the same time, you know, why do you worry about one thing, how people will look at you because you don't have makeup on?
Right.
But you forget about the rest of you. So, I mean, it's always stuck with me. I still wear makeup every day because it's my thing, but at the same time, it's always resonated with me, like the day she said that. So,
what's the process like towards getting surgery there?
Pardon?
What was your process like to get surgery, to get approved for surgery?
Well, I have American insurance, so because my husband's American, works for an American company, obviously has American insurance with that. So we, I had to do the 6-month thing. I think it's Cigna. Is that I think that's the insurance. And, you know, do the monthly doctor check-ins and all of that sort of thing, see the psych, which is all provided through a clinic that they have here for the American employees. So that was handy. I didn't have to pay for the doctor's visits and the psych and things like that. So that was really good.
Was it you? I can't remember who had to fly somewhere for your for your checks. I mean, it's probably where you had surgery, right?
Yeah, all of my appointments were in Adelaide, which is a 2-hour flight or a 15-hour drive.
Wow.
So
I've been to
thank
Adelaide.
Goodness. Yeah, it's a pretty place. They call it the City of Churches. It's such a beautiful city.
Yeah.
But I had a friend there, which I could stay with every time, which was good because, I mean, it's so expensive to fly out of here. It was like $600 every time I had to fly.
Oh, wow.
If not a little bit more. Yeah, and then you add on car hire and all this sort of stuff. So, you know, they were $1,000 trips roundabout every time I'd go. But for my actual surgery, my cousin that lives here, her husband has like a holiday unit down there. So we got to stay in that, which was good. So, you know, I wasn't in a hotel trying to deal with, you know, feeling like crap and whatever. So we actually had like a little house to go back to, which kept it normal for Amani too, because she saw me at the hospital and she was just like, what the hell? When we dropped you off. So it could still be quite normal, so that was good for her as well, because she was only 3 when I had it done. So
yeah.
But
so, was Alex always receptive to the idea of surgery and supportive, or was that you have to convince?
Yeah, no, he's been the most supportive person throughout the entire thing of everyone, I think. Just because he wants what's best for me. Like he's always said to me, no, I've loved you when you were small, I loved you when you were big. I love you now. There's no difference in how much I love you, but I need you to be happy with yourself. Obviously, to be a better person, a better mum, a better wife, all of that sort of thing comes down to what you're feeling about yourself. So you feel like shit, you're going to be a shit mum and a shit wife. So, you know, he was like, you do whatever you have to do, and I've got your back 100%. So I'm very, very lucky with him because, 1, he pays for the insurance. But 2, he's always got my back. So he's, he was supportive 100%. My dad was a bit iffy. My sister was like, yeah, you can do it. Mum was terrified because, you know, that's her child going for surgery, which you can imagine. But I, for the most part, I haven't had any negativity towards it. But they'd get a mouthful if they tried to say something. So.
Well, were you the only heavy person in your family, or is it other people?
No, there's probably only a few thin ones, and the rest of them all have some form of weight issue, whether it's a little bit or a lot. Like my brother could gain weight, lose weight like that, like just typical male.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he never really gained a lot. My sister, after babies, had gained a fair bit. She's kind of like I am now, but like we're both very bottom heavy and things like that. And then a lot of my cousins, uncles, aunties, they've all got some form of weight issue. So
yeah,
it's there, unfortunately.
So do you know anybody else besides the guy your husband worked with that locally that's had surgery? Like, I don't know if you got a support group or anything like that, but is there any community now?
No, there's no one. There's no like groups or anything here that I know of. I know a lap bander from years ago, and I think that's about it. Well, apart from the guy my husband works with.
Yeah.
And the rest is just all people I don't know online. I've had a few friends have it since. I've had one of my girlfriends here have it. She had it about 3 months ago, I think. Same surgeon as me and stuff like that. A couple of friends interstate, and that's about it. But yeah, there's no actual groups here that I can go to. No.
Yeah, I don't really have anything local either, but I do find it's getting to be a lot more common. I hear a lot more people. Yeah,
it's ridiculous how like popular it's getting like so quickly.
Right.
But because it works, I guess. So there's no point in paying for all these other quick fix diets that last 5 minutes.
Right.
And you can just do something a bit more permanent, and it's a lot easier to work with for the rest of your life, I suppose.
Yeah.
In your videos, you've always seemed so relaxed and easygoing about this, which I really like, because a lot of us get pretty stressed out. But, however, what do you feel have been your biggest struggles throughout this process?
I think the volume of food is still a big thing for me. Like, my eyes are bigger than my belly. Mm-hmm. Like, dishing up dinner, I still, my husband's plate got bigger and bigger. Because I have this thing with having to feed a lot of people, but there's only 3 of us. So, right. I cook enough pasta for half of Italy and stuff like that. Like, it's so dodgy. But I have family come around a lot for dinners, like roast dinners and things like that. But I would always serve up less than Amani for myself because, she can obviously eat more than me. But at the same time, I'd always still have too much. So early days, I did double dinners. Like I'd eat half my dinner, come back an hour or 2 later and eat the rest.
Right.
But I'd actually have to physically remove myself from the table. Otherwise, I'd try to eat it, and we all know that never ends well.
Yes.
So whereas now, because I can eat a little bit more since having Willow, I'm back to being really conscious of how much I'm actually eating because I can eat a lot more. So instead of being, now I can have 2 pieces of toast instead of 1, I've got to really mentally play the game now, which is really hard when I don't have a lot of time.
Right.
To my mind's occupied with 50,000 other things. So that's my biggest struggle at the moment, and that's what it's always been, is just looking at food and realizing the size of it and trying to not push myself too far.
Yeah.
I think.
I feel like you've tried to compensate in other ways for the things that you were using food for in the past.
Well, I haven't taken up smoking crack or anything, so I'm doing well there.
So good to hear that, Amy.
Like every time I buy makeup, I tell Alex, well, I could smoke crack instead.
Yeah, so
No, I haven't turned to drinking or anything either.
That may be my favorite naked drink.
Yeah, I haven't started drinking or smoking crack, so I'm doing well. I did have drinks a bit more often, but that's just because I actually got out more and got more involved with people. Obviously, it's still limited because, I still have a child at home, but and then from my birthday, we've got, a cupboard full of alcohol from my cocktail party. That's still sitting there because I got pregnant straight away. So that needs to be worked through eventually. But no, I haven't had any real like crossovers into any other form of addiction at all. So I don't. Well, not that I can think of anything. Anyway, no, I don't think so. A lot of online stuff. Like I'm online a lot more, but I think that's just because it gets easier with phones and things like that. So, which is really bad. But that's my next thing to try and calm down on a little bit. Because it's so easy to do now.
Right.
You're not sitting at a computer anymore. Your phone's with you all the time. So.
Right.
But yeah,
what made you decide to make YouTube videos? And why haven't you made one in a really long time?
I don't know what made me want to do them, because I was always kind of shy. Like, you'd never really think it, but but that was just more of a self-image thing. Like, people might think badly of me and whatever. Whereas, now I'm kind of at the stage where it's like, oh, fuck it, you don't like it.
Right.
There's the door, sweetheart. I'm getting to that stage, which is nice because I've never really been like that. But I think just watching other people's videos and then being able to connect with more people, because I made videos as well. So you've kind of got this common ground.
Yeah.
To be able to, because I didn't have that local support either, I had to find it elsewhere.
Right.
So, for people like Little Aussie Mel and things like that, like I really connected with her through videos and things like that. So I think without that, it makes it a lot harder. Like, videos are great support, and I do need to make one. I forget. I've got such a bad memory.
There's some new people coming up who are in Australia. Wendy Allison is one who's getting ready to have surgery. Do you guys, I know for a while you did a meet and greet. Are you guys doing that anymore?
Well, we did the one in Sydney that Mel had organised, and I think Mel Shell, God, it's so confusing. Belle was going to organise one for Perth, I think, but we were going to the States at that time, so I couldn't go to that one. I don't even know if it actually happened or not, but we that I haven't heard of any since, so not that I know of, which kind of sucks, but.
Well, you had your own little mini meet and greet, just with Mel.
Yeah, that was it. That was my little holiday. Traveling with 2 children. Oh, it must be crazy.
Yeah.
But at least you get to combine your 2 with her 2, and then.
That's right. We had a little family of 6 going for a few weeks. No, it was good. It was great.
What were your Nsv, Christine, teeny tiny tummy for Christine wants to know, what were your Nsv goals before surgery?
To be able to play with Amani and actually play, not just interact. Yeah, that was my biggest thing, which I've been able to do. So that's a big tick. Yeah. Obviously, plane seats and things like that to make life easier, because we do the American trip, every year, almost every year. We to be stuck in a small seat with such a big ass for such a long time with a child is never fun. So this trip will be much nicer, having a smaller body, a small baby, that sort of thing will be much more comfortable.
Yeah.
So
have you like changes in your friendships, your marriage, your work relationships as a result of losing weight?
I think I'm a lot more friendly. Like, I don't have a chip on my shoulder, and I'm not so cranky anymore because I'm not so tired. Like, even with a baby, I'm not as tired as I was 50 kilos ago.
Right.
So I think that played a big part. Obviously, being a lot more outgoing. So I actually got stronger with my friendships. I did lose a friendship because I got to the point where I was all going to put up with this shit anymore, and just, I don't need your drama. I've got enough of my own going on.
Yeah.
That was the only friendship that I lost, but that was purely a decision.
Is that related to weight loss surgery or just in general? But
no, that was just me getting a bit more backbone and not, having to please everybody all the time.
Right.
So I think my relationship with Alex has only gotten stronger because we do a lot more together. It's not so separated, like, well, I'll sit over here because I'm too lazy to move, and you can do whatever you've got to do. Whereas now I think we're a lot more joined as a couple. Obviously, sex gets better, everything gets better.
Right.
So even just being able to, sit together on a couch gets easier when there's not so much body to get in the way. So my relationship with Marnie is a lot better because we can do a lot more together. So that's been really nice. And then, obviously, Willow is all about boobs, so she doesn't care either way.
What about work? Talk a little bit about what you do for work, and has that changed at all?
Well, I worked at a bank for years before I had Amani, and then I had her and didn't work, and I'd always said to Alex, I will raise my children, not pay for them to be raised by someone else, which, a lot of people don't get the luxury of being able to do, so I'm super lucky there. But after working in childcare a long time when I was younger, I would see the parents just so disappointed if their kids walked for the first time or something like that at childcare. Yeah. So I always said to them, no, I'll be home for as long as it takes till the kids go to school. So I was almost out of that until this one came because of my full-time school now, so I'm back to the 5-year wait. But I was working in a hair salon on Saturdays, just doing, I was doing a lot of her book work and reception work and things like that. But I'm also a freelance makeup artist, so I do a lot of those jobs out of the salon. Obviously, I go to people's places to do their makeup and things like that. That's my job at the moment, apart from being a mum.
Have you ever thought of doing makeup tutorials?
I
would definitely watch.
I have really bad issues with people seeing me without makeup on, which sounds ridiculous, but I guess that just comes from years of trying to cover up what the rest of me look like, as Mum so graciously pointed out.
Love those.
So I don't know, maybe one day. I don't know.
I'd love to see it.
Mel actually asked me to teach her while I was there, and we just either forgot or ran out of time, or I don't know. She obviously told me about it.
Your eyeliner is always perfect. That's why I just wanted an eyeliner tutorial.
Today is shadow, just a bit of brown shadow.
Not liner and shadow.
Yeah, for the most part. But the lashes and stuff obviously make it look like, well, they're my lashes, but they make it look a lot more darker and stuff. So my makeup's toned down a lot in the last, say, 6 months, because I had to wear a lot less for school runs and this one coming and things like that. So I've gone from the whole Adele big thick dark liner to just a bit of shadow to.
I always think of you when I see Adele. I think y'all look so much alike. It's so funny.
I used to get that a lot. I had a lot lighter hair when she first started coming out, and yeah, I used to get it a lot. Can't sing as well as her, obviously, but
well, who can?
I know, right? And who can buy tickets to her damn show?
Oh,
not us, apparently.
Apparently not us. Not for the lack of trying, that's for sure.
Absolutely not.
We did have a couple questions on Facebook I wanted to try to get through. Gracie wants to know when you're coming to visit her, which means when are you coming to visit me, too?
I should be there in October.
In California?
Oh, in the States. I'll be South Carolina.
Oh, that's very
where my in-laws live in South Carolina, so
that's very fun.
That's where we'll be. I want to do like Nashville and head around, and that's another thing with the weight loss is every trip we've gone, we've sat in the house, gone to Costco, gone to Walmart. That's about as far as it ever got. So whereas this trip we can actually get out and do a lot more because I'm not so lazy. Pretty much.
When I was in New Hampshire before everything went south, it was like everything was like in walking distance, and I went everywhere in that whole town. And he was like, "How? I've been here like 6 weeks. I've never been to any of these places all year. It's like right here. Why are you not going there?"
Yeah.
And you'll see so much more walking over driving.
I walked all of it, and it was gorgeous. Yeah, such a change. So SJ wants to know, when you get off track with eating, what do you do to pull yourself out of bad habits and refocus?
Well, the M&Ms are still in the kitchen, so they're still around. I had bad chocolate cravings when I was pregnant, and I still do, but that's okay. I just try, if I'm going to eat something crap, then I'll try and make up for it somewhere else with eating decent. Like, I didn't have this surgery to never eat chocolate again or never eat bread again or anything like that. I had it so I can obviously eat smaller meals, eat a lot, like a variety of foods without, having to eliminate anything, because that's one thing I didn't want to have to happen. So, I'll eat anything, I eat everything. It's just a matter of portion control. Yeah. So I'll have a piece of cake and a coffee if I go out with girlfriends, but I'll share the cake with someone else instead of eating the whole piece to myself. That's basically how I balance it out. I've never really gone off the rails as such, because I've tried to keep it varied the whole time, just so I don't have that whole craving to go and blow out on crap food, because I've eaten nothing but lettuce for a week and steak or something. So I did have a couple of donuts while I was away at Mel's, because we don't have anywhere here that does fresh donuts.
Are those the jam-filled donuts? Is that?
Oh, any donut.
Because John has donuts that he misses from Australia. He's like, no place here makes the donuts like we used to get at the Melbourne market, and it's like some kind of like a fried donut, but it's like filled with like a strawberry or a raspberry jam or something, and then like sugar on the outside. Yeah. So it's probably a good thing he can't find them here.
Yeah. I'd send some, but I don't think they'll make the trip somehow.
No. Not really.
No. You should be able to get some from that bakery.
Well, we're going there next weekend, so we'll see if we can find any.
I plan on checking that out when I'm there to see how good it really is.
Yeah. Oh, he cried the first time he ate a meat pie. It's in Australia. Yeah, the Australian bakery. There's a couple of locations around Atlanta, and that was for, I think it was his birthday or something. I had a whole package of them shipped in, and so we baked them, and I'm telling you, the first bite he had tears. He was like, "Oh my God, this brings me back to home. It tastes exactly like I remember." So I was like, "Oh, score!" I nailed that one.
Yeah, I miss our food just after being away, because we normally do 5 weeks in the States, and I'll miss it just after that. Yeah. Like, I take my own coffee. I take as much as I can with me, because I miss it so much. But I cook a lot like I'm still home, so it's not as bad. But my mother-in-law's funny when I cook. I destroy her kitchen, the poor thing. I think she just about has panic attacks when I arrive. Her kitchen's not used for cooking, so.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Well, for me. I love it because she loves to clean it up, so I make the mess and she cleans it. It's great.
I want that deal.
I know. I want it at home, but I don't get it, unfortunately.
Rachel Rockcreate wants to know, what are the top 3 things that you think have been key to your success?
I think support from like the YouTube community, and obviously people directly in my life, like my sister and my husband and things like that. I think having the balls to say no to things now, whereas I never used to. And being a bit more outgoing, I think, helps a lot. Like, even going out to eat, it's still helping you, because you're still being social and you're not hiding away and being like, oh, I can't go to this place because they don't serve, a pure protein meal or something. And it's, you can't live your life just around your surgery. I mean, in the early days, obviously, you've got to pay a lot of attention to it and get as much as you can out of that first 12, 18 months.
Right.
But it also doesn't need to rule your life. So I think not letting it rule every single thing you do is one of the biggest tips. Like, I never did protein shakes or anything like that because I can't stand them. But at the same time, I think you need to be very conscious of it, but you also need to not let it dictate every single thing you do. In my opinion, that's
right. When you did the 6-month pre-op thing, were there classes to go to like nutrition type things? No. So you kind of just learned on your own what you should and shouldn't do.
Basically, yeah. Well, I'd already known so much. Like, I've done Weight Watchers and I've done all that stuff. You know what to eat. Everyone knows what they should and shouldn't eat.
Right.
It's just a matter of how much of it you eat.
Yeah.
Like, you can have one little piece of bread, it's not going to kill you, but you can't have a whole loaf because that's when shit gets bad.
Yeah.
So I think, like, I knew all of that. It's just trying to get your head around, like, the other side of it with the portions which is exactly what VSG is and stuff, is the portion
control. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Yep.
So I think that I did have to see a dietitian that my surgeon recommended, but that was also in Adelaide. So I'd only ever see them when I went down there. But by 6 months, just with my GP here, they'd measure me, weigh me, be like, "Are you eating well?" "Yep." "Okay." That was as good as it got. They did the bare minimums to get me through for what I needed. So
that's basically what I got too.
Good. There's nothing worse than someone that, you know, tries to change your entire life before it's even ready to change. So
right.
They were really good, but no, there was no like big dietitians. I've seen a dietitian since in town, which was referred at the hospital through my midwife, just to make sure I was getting enough nutrients before and after I had Willow. But I saw her the other day, and it's not hard to fluff around a dietitian, is it? They're like, eat cans of tuna, and you're like, okay. Once you just can of tuna. So anyway.
So Christine had a couple more questions that we hadn't gotten to. What's the best healthy habit you've adopted? If it's not one you've already said, sort of.
Water, I think.
Yeah.
Drinking a lot more water.
How much water do you drink?
Probably anywhere from 2 to 3 liters a day. I don't know how many ounces that is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, and I live in the desert, so I kind of need to drink it.
Yeah.
And not so much damn coffee.
Right. What bad habit do you wish you could give up?
Right now, chocolate.
Chocolate.
That sweet craving which I think just comes from being tired and wanting to grab something super fast because, you know, I've either got a baby in my arms or she's screaming at me to come and feed her or pick her up or whatever.
Right.
So everything's very quick at the moment, which I would like to slow down, but at this stage it's obviously not the easiest thing to do.
You're in survival mode.
Exactly. I eat to just function at the moment.
So I think maybe she means this within the like WLS community, but person you were inspired by and why?
My first person that I found video-wise was Sarah, Lesser Sarah, and I think I binge-watched her for probably a month because she had so many videos as well, and just went crazy with that. And then through time, it's been people like Tanya and Little Aussie Mel and like just the other people that you learn of through like the bigger people in the community like Tanya and Sarah and Lauren and those kind of people. So I think, Sarah would have been the first. I reckon the first real person that I actually got stuck on and watched a lot of.
Yeah.
And
what about person you would love to meet?
Everyone. Everyone stateside, I think.
I'm so excited that I got to meet Jen, RNY, for me when I was in New England, because she doesn't really go to meet and greets, and I really had no, I just didn't think I would meet her. So that was one of the big ones for me because I had watched her a lot early on too.
My biggest one first up was Mel, like Little Aussie Mel, because we'd connected so much online and we're so similar, we got so much in common and we connected so well that when I first met her, it was like, you know, the skies opened and and was that when I met Phil? Yeah, I think that was the first time I'd met Phil too.
At that big meet and greet.
Yeah. That was the first time I saw them in person and not just, you know, Skyping or calling or anything. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, Tanya, I don't know if you have the thing open. Do you want to do the Inside the WLS questions?
Yep, I have it.
Awesome.
Okay, so this is the WLS Studio question. So we're just going to do like a rapid fire. Here we go. Okay, what's your favorite word?
Fuck. Just like everyone else, I say it a lot.
What's your least favorite word?
I don't really have one. I don't
That's
think.
good. Yeah.
Like, when people, like, oh, that
Like
drives
totally.
me.
Like,
Yeah. That could drive me insane if it's more than, say, 2.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What turns you off?
Bad makeup.
Like also bad eyebrows.
Oh my god, eyebrows, yes. Oh.
What's your favorite curse word? I think we already know.
Yeah, I'd say fuck. I like fuckface. That gets around a fair bit.
What sound or noise do you love?
Babies laughing. Kids laughing, like that real belly.
Like belly laugh? Yeah.
Not that little fart that just left her butt, but that real like belly laugh is.
Yeah.
It brings tears to my eyes because it gets me every time.
What sound or noise do you hate?
My husband eating pizza because his jaw clicks when he cuts food with his teeth.
Oh.
And there's a damn motorbike somewhere around my new house that starts up in the morning and it's driving me insane.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I would love to be a sign writer or like a letter writer, like really beautiful.
Like calligraphy.
Like calligraphy, yeah.
Yeah, like that sort of. Oh, it mesmerizes me. I'd love to, but I have crap handwriting and I don't think I'd be able to do it.
No patience for
it. I
it.
would love to. Yeah, no time, no patience.
What profession would you not like to do?
Be a hooker?
Okay, that's a first. Not crack, and she doesn't want to be a hooker.
No.
The tagline.
Yeah, the crack and hooker together. Not my style.
All right, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Martin here, he's been waiting for you.
Oh.
My brother. Not that I believe in God, but he's waiting. He's waiting.
All right, I think that was the last question, huh, Liz?
Yeah, so it was really great to see you again.
It's nice to see you.
A lot of us have really missed you.
Yeah, definitely.
I need to start.
And you're so beautiful.
It's funny with time. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
So we're going to take
a lot of practice.
I'm going to take the next 2 weeks off. No Naked Truth for the next 2 weeks. Next week, 4th of July, and the following week, I just didn't have anybody scheduled, and I thought, well, it's summer. Let's take a break.
Yeah, summer break.
Summer break. So July 17th, I'll be back with Nirvana. She's coming back for the part 2 of her original show where we're going to talk about mental health issues and weight loss surgery, all that stuff. And then on the 24th, Mandy, revised Army wife, is going to be here. So that's awesome. And as I said, we hit our 1,500 subscribers. So I'm actually, I'm going to post a separate video on what the giveaway criteria is going to be. It's going to be to make a video about a certain topic. So anyway, thanks, everybody. It was great to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy.
No worries. And Willow was such a good girl for most of it.
I know, she was excellent.
I have 2 very amazing children, trust me.
Bye, guys.